Hey friends, welcome back to my page, y'all. Welcome to the replay. We're gonna make some standing crosses today. 3 of them to be exact. So when you hop on, say hello, hit the heart button. Then you're going to sprinkle the video and type in the word. Let's see, the keyword is cross, okay? So I have 3 crosses right here that I'm going to paint. Or I started painting, actually. Get a head start. Okay, so TGIF. It is Friday. So I'm just painting these with white chalk paint. Kind of speed up the process, I guess. So that y'all don't have to wait for me to do it. Yeah. All right, so there is white. Let's see what y'all are up to today. Standing crosses. Big Bow Friday. It is Friday, but we're not doing a bow tonight. We're going to do crosses. Oh no, I did not mean to unhide Kim's comment. Hold on, y'all. There we go. Sorry, Miss Kim. All right, so no big bow. All right, we're doing something a little different. Zach cut these, and I've been wanting to do them. So I thought, well, I was kind of like last minute. So funny story. It's Zach and I this weekend at the house, right? The boys are with my sister at Great Wolf Lodge. Bless her. And so Kira, our dog, was what I call, I don't know, you could tell she was bored, right? So we were trying to play with her and stuff, and then she loves to go in the car. Imagine that. So, you know, I was like, well, I'll just take her for a ride. So we drove around the neighborhood. Then we went to Sonic. And the next thing you know, I look at the clock and I'm like, oh, it's 7:15. I need to get back home so I can come on live and hang out with my friends. So, this is something that we already had cut. So there really wasn't any prep work to it. So that is why we're doing standing crosses. And I think y'all will like them. So, oh, goodness gracious. Just type in the word cross. I also put the link directly to the cutouts themselves. And we're going to use a transfer I haven't used in a while. I haven't used, gosh, probably in over 2 months maybe. On the background of the crosses itself. So, are y'all ready for the weekend? So this is the base to the crosses. This has 3 little bitty slits in it to hold the crosses in place. Okay, and I'll show you here in a second. I'm painting on a paper towel tonight. I want to see how that works out. So far, so good. Okay. So I don't need to paint both sides. You can certainly do that if you wanted to. I, however, do not. Okay, I don't want to get rid of this because we're going to paint the outside of the crosses. Yay! Are you, Kevin? Y'all are going to craft. What are y'all going to make? Crafty day with your wife. I love that. All right, so let's move this. Now, these right here, they are on the thinner side. Y'all see that? Okay, so I probably am going to get my handy dandy, you know, thing that I love so much. And I'm going to use the chalk paint. Hi, Kathy. And I'm using a sponge brush tonight. I think it's easier to paint the thinner pieces. Like, I know when I paint like tiered tray sets, like for Etsy and stuff, it's so much easier to paint with sponges. And even so, like a makeup sponge. Because I can kind of like dab it and get full coverage. I don't know if y'all ever tried that before, but it works. Now this one, like the sponge part itself, oh Lord, I'm going to be covered in black paint. It's really long, so it bends. But maybe if you had like a smaller one. So that one's done. So I'm just going to lift it up. And I'm actually going to lay it right here next to that base. And put, let's see if I can get both of these on here. Yeah, we did it. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about when it comes to the sponges. Now, this is not the makeup sponge, but these are Artist Sponge. I got these at Michael's, I believe. And I simply just take mine and cut them in 4s so that I can use like 4 different colors. Okay, so I just take them and I cut them just like so. So let me put these over here, back in my little area. All right, and so then you can just go along really, honestly, a lot faster and paint these little bitty tiny thin pieces. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So I do prefer this method at times. And I drag out all of my paint and I sit at the kitchen table. I put a, what do you call it? Tablecloth on our wood table. And I just go to town, painting all the little things. So I plan on doing some of that this weekend because it's going to be quiet here in my house. All right, so there's that. Wow, hi. Oh, hi, Jackson. Are you typing? Hi, Jaxie. Are you at Great Wolf Lodge having fun? You better be good. All right, paint this one. And then we're going to hop over here, make sure our actual cross bases are dry. And start applying our pattern. Okay, so that is finished. Now, normally I just take these right to the sink and clean them because I reuse mine. I don't know about y'all. Yes, Pam, it is. If you just type in the word cross, you will see it in your messenger with a link, okay? All the crosses. All right, I think we have, I don't know, a couple different ones, but this one is the set of 3, okay? Oh, look, there's Heather. My hair's crazy, y'all. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, okay, this one's got some excess paste. Let's clean that off. Let's check on this one. This one has a little bit of shine to it, so I know that the chalk paint, I just used Waverly chalk paint tonight, okay? So we're going to just make sure that it is dry. We are going to wax these, 100%. Hi, Vicki, how are you? Hi, Linda. There's Michelle Pryor. You still working on your bunny? Yay! I saw Miss Debs today in the VIP group. She posted it. Y'all, if you ever make something and want to share it and show it off, post it in the VIP group. We love to see everybody's inspiration. Because you may have something that you post that I'm like, ooh, I like that idea. All right, so I have a big glob right here that is just chilling, not dry. Okay, and then we have a bunch of excess here on the side. I bet. All right, so I've got a bunch of excess paint. Not paste, because we did not use the paste to paint with. Okay, so I'm just going along the edges and I'm just picking it up. Sliding it off, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this is done. And this is done. So let's close this up. All right. And we're going to grab, what are we going to do next? The wax. Super important. Anytime that you paint a surface and you are going to apply one of our silkscreen designs, you certainly must wax your surface. It is going to help protect your surface that you painted and the transfer itself. Okay? So get the wax. It's clear. It doesn't have an odor. I love it. And then the wax applicator is separate, and you can certainly pick that up to apply it, and you can just very easily put this in the washer and the dryer, and you're good. Okay? Oh no, Michelle, your projects are worthy. Your little bunny thing was adorable. Just post them. All right, there's 2. And then the cross number 3. I need to heat up my wax, y'all. It's coming off in clumps. And you don't want that. Okay, so here's number 3. Okay, now I'm kind of just turning it, looking at it, because I think I might have too much wax in a certain area. There we go. So just kind of buff it out. All right, so let me move this over here because we're going to grab pretty big transfer. Okay. Hi. Michelle, yes, it's a full set. All 3 that this project we're doing is a whole set. Okay, so we're going to bust out the vintage rose pattern. Thought we'd try it. Now this is 18 by 18. We've used this a lot. There is not a whole lot of sticky because anywhere that you see through it is the silk screen, right? So I am not going to fuzz this because it is not one of those that like is really sticking, okay? It's sticking, but I don't want to reduce any of the stickiness because I really want it to stay in place. So let me show you something about these. So these are different sizes. You have 2 small ones, 1 big one, okay? Just so you're aware. So we're going to place them. Doesn't really matter. Let's see how we're going to do this. Just like so. And then we're going to pick this up. And we are going to lay this and see how it fits. Awesome. All right. So we're going to tackle all 3 at once. Okay, so now I'm going to go over them with my hand, try and eliminate the air bubbles. Okay, if your transfer is being difficult and like not sticking down, I'm going to show you what you're going to be careful of. Okay, like this side is sticking better than this side over here. So we're going to start on this side, all right? And we're going to use Current Jam. Thought this would be kind of pretty. Right, Michelle? Yes. He is working on those. All right, so I'm going to give this a stir. I have not used Current Jam in a little bit. And it is just right under the consistency that I want. Just shy of the consistency, okay? So I'm going to spray it with some distilled water. And I'm going to give it a stir. And this is going to bring it to that consistency that I want, which is sour cream yogurt-like. All right, almost like, I don't know, even pudding. Okay, so I'm going to stir it. And then I'm going to grab a small squeegee. This one, okay? Small is the squeegee that I'm using. So now I'm going to grab some paste on it. And I'm just going to kind of hold my transfer in place as I'm working my way top to bottom on the cross. Okay, because my transfer is not sticking like glue, right? Because I've used it a lot. Try and go in one direction. That's going to help try and prevent those air bubbles that I was talking about. Okay. And then you're just going to make sure that you cover up all of that silk screen. Every corner, I just did what I told you guys not to do. Every corner, every piece of silk screen. Okay. Then I'm going to lift it up and remove it from underneath. Okay. Now, I'm going to make my desk really messy, but we'll clean it up. This paste is washable. All right, so we're going to do number 2. And as I move over, it's almost like my transfer is not sticking as well. So I'm going to make sure that I hold my transfer in place. And this happens, y'all, from time to time. If you use a transfer over and over, eventually that stickiness is going to really weaken, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Lessen, reduce. But that's okay. You can still use these when that happens. You just got to be very mindful. All right, I'm going to go for it and try and get this third one while I'm over here. Okay, so hold my transfer in place. Now this, I will clean. See, yeah, there's lots of air bubbles over here on this one. I'm going to clean this in the bathtub. I'm not even going to take any chances here. It's too big. It's not too big, but for the area that I'm working in, I just prefer to take it either to the sink or to the bathtub. Okay, so I do see air bubbles, but it's okay. I'm not going to cry. All right, let's lift it up. Slowly move it off over there. And actually, we have very small smudging. Okay, so I'm going to take this right here and place it on the backer sheet right there. Okay, now I'm going to clean off my desk. We're going to dry these. This is really pretty, y'all. I'm excited about these. No idea how that got there. Okay, so now this is cleaned off. I'm going to slide these back over here and we're going to dry them. Can y'all see them? They're so pretty. I'm going to hold it upside down. Look at that. I think this is going to be awesome. Yes, Brownie. Could you spray it with, you could, Carol. Yes, you could spray it with spray adhesive. I just don't have any. But you absolutely could. Zach just needs time off. He's about to go wood cutting wild this weekend in the wood shop. I sent him a bunch of ideas today for some things I would like to see coming up. He's got to work on his Uncle Sam, his ragtie Uncle Sam. I see comments about that. Even like last night I saw comments about it. And I do have the leprechaun on the floor because I was trying to showcase our project from last night. Alright, so, okay, y'all need to listen up, because if you get these, you need to listen to this. Let me just make sure that they're dry. Hit the heart button, y'all. Type in cross. This is a set of 3. I'll show you how to put them together. And we use the vintage rose pattern on the crosses. And I'm going to get out my super glue. But I want to make sure they're dry before I start touching all of them. All right, let's grab a paper towel. And I see a little bit of excess right there. Right there. Right there. Okay, that one's good. Let's check on this one. And check on this one. The backs are not pretty. You guys can absolutely paint the backs. I, however, am not, because they're going to sit behind me and you'll never see the backs. So, you do you, y'all. Okay, so it comes with 3 of these, right? Let me spray this because the patient is clearly not coming in to take care of this. And that is going to leave a big old stain. Okay, you have your base, right? And you have 3 crosses, 3 frames. 1 bigger cross, 2 smaller. Now let me show you how this works. The crosses themselves are going to fit in the little slits on the base, okay? The frame plus the cross does not fit in the base. You have to glue the frame to the cross at the top. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So you want to align the top of the cross way up here, and you're going to have just a little bit. Do y'all see that right there? That is going to go in this base. Okay, so let me get the super glue, the stand. Patty, what do I do with all my projects? Well, they usually sit in a pile in the mudroom, or we get a big tote by season and we put them up in the attic. And the next year for that season, we get them back down and we put them behind us to start decorating before I make a bunch of projects. Sometimes we give them away. Sometimes people reach out and say, hey, can I buy such and such? We're like, sure, you really want that I made? I am always shocked when somebody reaches out and they're like, hey, can I buy that? I'm like, what? You want my stuff? Never in my wildest dreams, y'all, would I have thought people would be wanting my crafts. Okay, so this is glued on. Okay, so remember, you have that little bit on the bottom. That's what you want. All right, so let's grab this one. We're going to glue this one. And I'm using this super glue gel. I love the gel because it's forgiving and it does not dry the minute you bump it up another piece of, or against another piece of wood or whatever you're trying to glue it on. It's almost like you have a couple of seconds. So that's why I like it. All right, let's marry this up at the top. Okay. Now do this to make sure that it's even. Even Steven. All right. And there's my forgiving super glue. Thank you for being forgiving. And just hold it down for a second in place. And you're good. Okay. Now we've got the big one. Same thing. A little bit on the bottom. Okay. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Francis. I know, Michelle, you would have been calling me saying, hey, I can't get both of these in my base. Or the stand, or the base, whatever you want to call it. All right, so I'm concentrating so that I don't glue my fingers to this because I want to work fast so this doesn't dry. All right, let's do this. And flip it over. Line it up. And hold it in place. Okay. Same thing there. Turn, flip, boom. Okay. So there is cross number 3. Okay, that was not down. Now, Zach told me, I think, if I remember what he said, that the big cross is in front. Yes, I believe so. I don't know. I guess it really doesn't matter. So we'll just put the big cross in the front, and this will just go right inside here. Okay. And then you've got your smaller ones that will go back here. Is that dry? And then here you have it. Look at that. Is that not cute or what? I love it. So cute. What do y'all think? And you could do the other side if you wanted to, but you're only going to get one set of frames, okay? Isn't that awesome? And you can paint it any color you want. Thanks, Jeannie. Boom shakalaka. It's that easy. You don't even have to put a design on it if you don't want. Paint it a certain color. But I think it's fun. Something different, right? Haven't done crosses before. And then he also has this one, which is just by itself out of birch with the thorns. So we have lots of cross options. All right, that's it, y'all. Have a good night. We'll see you later. Bye.